So Team USA is in Abu Dhabi, and they took on Australia earlier this morning, their second exhibition game leading up to Paris. Anthony Edwards in the starting lineup, and he got hot early, knocking down the three again and again and again. He had 14 points. Ramona earlier says he could be that guy. I think it's still early to determine whose team this is, but he's making a strong case to start. Anthony Davis also becoming a huge story in this game. But another three. And then with about 7 to go in the third, Davis muscling in the paint, finishing with the layup. Davis again would finish with a big slam. 17 points, 14 boards in just 18 minutes as Team USA wins 98-92. So Team USA has a good problem to have with their big man rotation, with three of their best big men in the world has to offer, with AD, Embiid, and Bam. They have all gotten some run through 2 games, and that leads to the question, who should be getting the bulk of the minutes? And to help us answer that question, Brian Windhorst is following Team USA on their journey to the Olympics. You were in the building. Joel Embiid started and played 16 minutes. Anthony Davis was the best big man on the floor for the U.S. again. How will the front court situation play out in your mind?
Yeah, and it's a good question, Cass, and it's such an important question because so many of the competitors for Team USA for the gold medal are loaded in the front court, starting with the Serbians, who they're going to play here on this floor on Wednesday night. And just to be frank, and it's not like a super-duper alarm or super-duper surprising, but to be frank, Joel Embiid hasn't looked very good. You know, he's obviously coming off some time off, coming off the knee injury. He also, you can very much tell, is a novice at FIBA-style basketball. You know, Jock Landale, who's a backup with the Houston Rockets, had 20 points in this game for Australia tonight. Landale dominated Embiid at times, and it wasn't because he's better than Embiid, but he's just way more used to the style of play. For example, at one point, Landale pulled the ball off the rim, which is allowed, and Embiid looked to the referee and asked for a goaltend. That's, you know, he's not in the rhythm yet. And Steve Kerr has defended him over the last couple of days. He said again after the game, you know, it takes big men longer to adapt, longer to get used to this sort of thing, and they're going to give him space. He did get asked if he'd make a starting lineup change, and he, stayed away from that, saying that the lineups are going to shift around. The thing about it is, Anthony Davis has obviously been the best big man so far, but he's looked great alongside Bam Adebayo. That's been a dominating lineup for Team USA so far. And with those guys playing together in the second unit, so if you bring AD in as the starter ahead of Embiid, you break that up. So there's a lot of things to consider, and Team USA is working through all that now.
And you told us earlier in the show that Nikola Jokic was in the stands behind you, practically probably licking his chops, as they're the next challenge for Team USA as they take on Serbia on Wednesday. What are you looking for in that game, Brian?
Yeah, so Serbia, the last time they played the U.S., crushed them on the interior in 2019 and knocked them out of medal play in that World Cup. And guess what? Jokic was awesome. And he's only gotten better and won 3 MVPs since then. So, one of the big reasons that the Americans went out and got Joel Embiid was to deal with Nikola Jokic. The Serbians are a terrific team. They drill. They practice. They have a veteran, old-school coach who puts them through 3-a-day practices sometimes. You will see them as a polished team that moves the ball. They finished as a runner-up in the World Cup last year, despite Jokic taking that summer off to prepare for this summer. They have Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Hawks, who can be a dynamite international player. It's a huge challenge, and it's doubly interesting because in the opener on July 28th, in the opener in Lille, France, the first game of pool play, it's Serbia versus the U.S., one of the signature games of pool play. And so to play a team like this ahead of a game like that in just a few days, it really makes for a fascinating matchup.
Team USA has tried out a couple different starting lineups. At some point, Kevin Durant will be in the mix as well. So, Richard, who do you believe is their best lineup, fully healthy.
Okay, fully healthy. Now, this is one thing I want to make sure. We are not going to start a bunch of nonsense with USA Basketball about who should start it, who this. It's a team. You have to field a team. Who works best with who? You could be one of the best players and not start. You could be one of the best players in the world and not start. We see one of the best players in the world not on the team. We see a bunch of the best players not on the world, not on this team. But this is what I'm going to say because we dealt with size issue for USA Basketball. The U.S. has a unique ability to have the biggest lineup maybe in the history of basketball. We have LeBron James at 6'9.5". We've got Jason Tatum at 6'8.5", 6'9". Now let's go. We know Anthony Davis, he doesn't like playing the 4 or 5, so we put Kevin Durant at 6'11" as your he's going to be my small forward. And then we're going to put Anthony Davis, it didn't matter about this position, center, and then we're going to put Joel Embiid. Now you have 6'10" across the board. You can switch 1 through 4 with Joel Embiid possibly being able to guard some of these guys on the perimeter. So that's what I'm saying. You're talking about size, you're talking about versatility, and the reason why I like LeBron James with the point guard, he's 5th all-time in assists. The one thing that you might tweak is say, hey, Jason Tatum, maybe we put Steph on that floor for more spacing. But we act like Kevin Durant isn't going to cause a bunch of spacing. We're not going to act like Joel Embiid doesn't need 2 people on him at all times. So this is the one, because this spacing, Steph, and KD, they know how to play around. They know how to play around and with each other. And when you look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you have some continuity there. So I like this starting lineup. I like this group. But I like size, and then I like a team. Who works well? Steph in the first unit causes space. Anthony Edwards in the first unit. When you got KD, LeBron, you don't need this all-time attack guy. You need a guy that's going to play the game and make sure everyone's distributing. So that's why I like Anthony Edwards in the second unit. Go score all the points in the second unit. Go be that guy with Tyrese Halliburton, with Derek White, with Bam Adebayo. Go be that scorer. But for a team, what is the best starting lineup that works together? We're not talking about names. We're not talking about accomplishments. We're talking about which part of this can make a cohesive team, because you're playing against a cohesive team that have had multiple summers to train.
Yes.
Germany has the same team. Canada has the same team minus 1 or 2 players. There's only 2 players that are on this team that were on the team last summer. So you got to bring a team.
It's an important note for the discourse around Team USA. It's not an all-star team. You know what I like?
What?
That we got to take in the full glory of the outfit your sons picked out for you.
I can't take full credit, but my kids, they do know a little bit about style. They get it from their mom.
Exactly. Regardless of the 5-man lineup, this team is loaded with future Hall of Famers. Here's Malika Andrews on how we'll define the latest chapter in USA basketball.
We all know the dream team. We all remember the redeem team. But the 2024 men's Olympic roster is so stacked with talent, we need to come up with a new nickname.
But for me, it's going to be ecstatic, excitement, humbling, wow factor.
Headlined by 2 of the greatest to ever play, Steph Curry and LeBron James, Kevin Durant, who has a case to be referred to as the most decorated men's Olympic player in United States history. Don't forget about former MVP Joel Embiid and 3 members of the champion Boston Celtics, all a part of the red, white, and blue brigade.
For it to be the first time us being able to get an opportunity in a real competitive setting stage to be teammates, and we don't know how many more opportunities we're going to have to even play the game. So to be able to have this moment at this point of our career is just super special.
It's the best of the best here. It's the most talent in the world is in our gym right now. Just to see how humble and just grateful that everybody is to be here, that's the cool part about it. Just seeing the human side of everybody, and obviously we know how great and otherworldly everybody is on the floor. But everybody's here to serve and be good teammates, and that's a great part about Team USA.
And although Team USA notched its first friendly win against Canada, there are no friends between the lines. There has never been more talent on rosters around the world, and everyone is looking to win on the big stage.
We've had some challenges in the World Championships the last couple of years, and just the way that the stars aligned again for me to be healthy. This team that we've assembled is amazing. For me, I knew there's a chapter closing on when being an Olympic athlete would close. So this is probably my first and only opportunity to do it. So I'm excited about it. You get that first time jitters, because at this stage to find something like that I can do for the first time, pretty cool.
It's easy to see why comparisons are already being made to the 1992 Michael Jordan-led Dream Team. But as the U.S. begins its latest quest for gold, let's give them a new nickname, shall we? Introducing the 2024 Supreme Team.
Supreme Team. RJ, yes or no? You like it?
No.
Okay. The U.S. is the big favorite to win a 5th straight gold medal on the
Not if they
men's
bench
side.
Steph Curry like Richard wants them to do.
Got to be a team.
I kind of like it.